I turned on. I actually muted the mic on YouTube because I was playing music. Um, yeah, let's play something. Let's play some Destiny. I was gonna do like some dungeons or something. Yeah. See if I can get these headphones working. I know that you can't actually hear the game, but that doesn't mean I shouldn't. So I'm gonna go ahead and like put on these headphones. Um, Actually, I have some bigger headphones I'm gonna wear. Yeah. Let's see here. Need to farm some dungeons for the church life tomorrow. My dad always likes it when there's better turnouts, and he's back in his right mind, man. It's the problem with them tens, but they get offline, they get off track, and all of a sudden what? It's up to you to get them back on it. He's like, that's not a tiger. This is a tiger. Let me show you like the massive tiger. Get this thing to work. Golly, I swear, and I swear, by the moon and the stars in the sky, I'll be there for you, tiger. I'll be there, and I swear, by the shadow that calls us at night, I'll be there for you, tiger. For better words, get you back. Rip my arm off, feed my dude, I was just giving you a hug. Alright. Let's see. They want to say 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right, boss? Be like, you suck at math. Congratulations. You just reminded me of something. People who suck at math, you should be proud of yourself. Being that naive is probably really fun. You go around thinking nothing bad will ever happen, that numbers don't matter. 7, 8, 9, 10, well. It's hard to explain though because 10 counts as one. Let's see here. I know that a lot of people have a hard time understanding that alone, and that's fine. I have a hard time understanding how people can like go and live their lives without memos and emails and text messages for every piece of communication. So I'm right there with you. I swear, Charlie. Charlie has proven lately that he's got some serious cojones for to this day, if Steven gave up on you, 10. I could abandon the man even if he thinks he's gonna do the same to me. Yeah, we're gonna act like Game of Thrones characters for a little bit. We don't know what the accent. The accent is Westeros, but you know, in like a lightman term, the new episode is tomorrow, and I felt like the last episode didn't have enough dragon action. But I mean, that's just what I think personally. And they were like, I thought that he was gonna awake and like literally go crazy on the people that like were trying to turn him into like dinner, and then it just turned out to be like, well, cripples can be dangerous, and I believe that already. There was this thing that I saw, this guy who didn't have arms or legs, but he shot his best friend with a gun by accident. And I swear in my brain, in my mind, I was like, okay, this is exactly how it went. And it was like, his friend was like, be careful with that. And he's like, don't worry, I know how to handle a gun, look. And then he accidentally shot him. Like, something like that, like, seriously. Honestly, I don't even trust myself with a fucking gun, dude. With a handgun or I don't trust myself with a handgun, is what I'm going to say. And Charlie's like, yeah, good thing, right? Good thing. Don't let him have a handgun. And I'd be like, yeah, I mean, I don't mind. I can trust myself with like a rifle, like a hunting rifle. It's dangerous. Handguns are just too dang dangerous. And say ARs, they say, well, I mean, Charlie's like, don't bring up ARs around us because what? We might steal your AR. I think so. I swear, Charlie. I swear. The moon and the stars, the sky. It's like, what are we up to? What are we up to? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I think we're just gonna do like some solo dungeon stuff. I already know that people are gonna try to like, force me to go play Halo with them, and I don't want to play Halo with you. Okay, it's not that I don't want to play Halo. I don't want to play Halo with you. It's a joke. I'm scared. I'm scared to leave my house. Charlie said we're both scared. We've been so scared. We've been so scared. We've been more scared. This one time I was walking him, and I had everywhere I have to carry him, because he's trying to gain. I swear, someone with no mental convinced him that he's trying to get involved in like an amateur sumo league for dog fights, not like straight up dog fights, but like sumo fights for little shits. And I swear he won't. Ever since then, he won't like go for walks. I have to carry him. Even when we leave the house, it's like I literally have to, anywhere I have to usually carry him. But earlier today, I literally caught him trying to sneak out the back door. I can't believe he did that. Where the hell was he gonna go? Wherever you gonna go, Charlie? You ain't got no nods, bro. You ain't got what? You ain't got no favors. Little. Like, so what if I had nowhere to go? So I was trying to get you out. Or Bjorn startled. We're so scared. Yeah, we're so scared. We're so scared that like if you came around us, you would start feeling scared. Like that's how scared we are, right? We're so scared. You would sense our scared. Be like, what is wrong? Why are you that scared? It'd be like, yeah. I mean, there's tons of reasons, but we're not gonna get into them, right? Like we could talk about it all day and all night, or you could just accept us for what we are. We can move on, and from there what, try to reason with each other at a healthy rate, pace, and or distance. Am I gonna go to church today? Maybe if he asked me. If he asked me, maybe. But I mean, they literally tried to sell off like a very important piece of furniture of mine, and I caught them doing it, and then it became a big argument. And whenever that piece of furniture gets in here, I'll tell you a story about it, and I'll keep like the details light for the most part. But just know that, I mean, they have no rights selling that furniture. Um, I get it that people have probably gotten in and like taken some dog shit on it, but it doesn't mean that you're not going to get superseded by cancer. He said most of those claims are dog shit, and you just can't get away with that on someone like me. The main, like, there's a couple red flags with that. I just don't feel very comfortable selling things at yard sales anyways. They sold like a few things of mine in the past that I wasn't hoping to sell, but someone like basically copped it like that, and then it became a problem later. And I mean, like, there's plenty of examples of this for me personally. Maybe not for you. Maybe it's okay for you to sell some of your stuff at, a yard sale or estate sale. But for me, it has always ended up with a burn or a bad burn or even other types of injuries. I know that with that specific type of issue, it's going to end up with like serious car accident. I already know it, and that's not why I got a car accident, but I know I have a accident to throw at someone, and if anyone has to benefit from it, it's like some like elitist, Ivy crud. I'm just gonna call him crud, and I don't know why anyone would want to help them. See, is what I'm telling you. It's like we're in this together as like minorities. Why do you want to help out that type of people? Because I wouldn't want to help out that type of people. The crazy thing is I swear they keep on getting my mom with no way, and then she just like forces my pops, and it's like really like settle down, lady, and I might have to like shut down things down like an hour early than I wanted to, and I just like bless a rosary for her in here, and like, be like, yeah, nice try, better luck next time, right? Because I already know who was on about it. I know what their excuse was, but they don't understand like the more finer details. They just have what they want, and they think that that's what matters most, and then they have what they take, and they also think that that's all that matters. And I'm like, okay, well, you're missing like a lot of things in between. You're missing so much, like literally. They're basically just trying to like turn it into an appeasement of no way again, and it's like that doesn't help. Seriously, it doesn't help. You can't just keep on making things about no way. Like, like if anything at that point, like you have to be just kind of like somber that things aren't real. But I get it that even Matt Damon would be like, yeah, they don't care or something. It's like, I don't know if they care or not. Like, I can't speak for every woman's on the subject, but I can get into something as simple as like, hey, that's mine, and I have a receipt, I have the manual, I have the remotes, like it's mine. You can't take it from me. If you think it's yours, then what? Pick it up with whatever Allah I'm going to bring up later, because seriously, it's not going to be nice. And I guarantee you that after a certain time, like it's not going to be me the one that's getting burned. It's not going to be me the one that's having an issue with injury. It's going to be on the other side. I think, let's see, which of these can I do by myself? I know I can do this one by myself. There's probably like a handful or just a few that I can do of these by myself. All right. So most of these dungeons I learned myself. That I didn't watch anyone else doing, and I just yeah. I mean, I did like naturally. Some of them took a long time. I think that was one that took like 4 or 5 hours or something like that that I took a picture of. Um, just some like host families, like they want to pretend and they want to act like they're like good reason or better reason, but it's like you can't go around using no way to steal things from people and act like you're good or better reason, you dipshit. Like if you even if you like stole diamonds and like are planting them and going back and forth and shit, like still you're just some fucking idiot, Like I hate to say it, dude. Like honestly, like I feel like as adults we should all know better than that, right? Like I actually gotta reteach myself how to do this, dude. Honestly, and I also don't even think I have the right thing to take out some of these like shielded dudes. But whatever, we're just gonna try. Let's go try. Try, bro. Nice try, bro. Not really. You should have done better than that, yeah, dude. Honestly, I could hold that against you forever, dude. I could report you again for that on the second account, dude. Like my report is 100% valid, dude. At some point, someone's gonna look at the GE and be like, "This guy, what, was clearly possessed," and I'll be like, "Yeah, there have been higher levels of possession and what." The crazy thing is whenever I bless reasonable, good tools, sometimes they won't just take them. They won't just like hold on to them. It's like, "Oh no, that's yours." Like they want to believe like that kind of crap, like that like I can't give them like a decent gift or whatever, right, on the side. And I mean, it kind of goes back to like how like the elitist like mentality gets kind of gets, because how my sister went to Brown, and like they I guess I mean they're just like, we didn't know this until recently, but apparently Dartmouth really fucking hates them. And it's like, well, that sucks, Monica, because like I'll be honest with you, like we have good strong faith in our family, and what now we have to deal with that shit. And maybe you don't think it's like that big a deal, but it's like, okay, well, it kind of is, like yeah, it kind of is. Does that make sense? It's like oh, it's not. It doesn't. It's not just a little deal, right? Like we're having like it kind of is like a big deal. Like I can't get into like specifics, except for the fact that like now it's really hard to just like side or not side with a certain Ivy League at this point. Like just call them a bunch of like elitists or something. I don't know, dude. Like honestly, just know that you can't just have everything because you look at it and you think it's nice or something. Well, I mean, I guarantee you that she wasn't even gonna give them, like, the person who was trying to basically steal it from us wasn't even gonna give them like half of what it would be worth in my mind, and I'm the one that had to like deal with it the entire time. I think the worst part was is they had sold like this bat, this like bat bag that I had, and I had paid like probably like $300 for it growing up, for like a traveling team and all this other shit. And I had to like literally I had to like split the bill with my pops. And of course they make the deal with my mom, and what she gets like $200 for it or $150 for it, and what all I mean honestly, dude, I took such a bad burn for that. Like Like seriously, it was just some fucking pendejo that came over and fucking like copped it and like fucking convinced her to give her the fucking to give into some retarded deal. And it's like, yeah, classic fucking classic fucking dog shit, classic fucking I'd say like bitchy witchy fucking type of attitude. Like she doesn't understand what that bat bag means to me personally, right? That's like my American like shit. That's like the most American, like, right? That's like proof that I'm an American, right? Without having to like carry my fucking safe with me everywhere and shit. But there was also a bunch of other expensive shit in that bag, like a spare glove and like like nice balls and like all kinds of shit. Like it's just giving that type of shit away is retarded because it what ended up happening is at some point they're like trying to do something wrong with it or break some rules with it, like maybe some kid fucking takes some sus or some shit like that. All of a sudden I'm on the line because it has all my fucking bacteria and shit on it, and what I get burned. I still have a fucking eye burn over that shit alone. Like, is that a problem? Oh, fuck yeah, that's a problem, dude. After that, like, you have no right taking anything from me ever again and selling it in any type of fucking yard sale. After that, like, everything needs to be cleared ahead of time. The specific thing that they were trying to sell was worth a lot more than that. And I already know it's going to be a much more, difficult of a problem. But I mean the baseball bat that was in that bag was like, it was like brand new, dude. That thing was probably like 100 plus, $115, $120 baseball bat. Hadn't even been used like one time, dude. Like brand new. And then there was another baseball bat in there that was actually really nice too. That was kind of fucked, but I mean whatever. Like one of those baseball bats was like seriously nice. Like we did not get our money's worth for that. Like estate sales are just stupid as hell. Just you're never gonna convince me to sell anything that is that is actually worth something at an estate sale or at a yard sale, just in general. Like you have like scarred me, indefinitely, but also you have made it so, I'm having to like sell out for some random fucking little pendejo, right? Like as if I care about some fucking random little kid, dude. Why would I honestly think that like there are so many terms where like people don't even care about some random little kid that they are related to. There's like some little kid, right? Like you can't put like, see how do you know it will help them? After I get burned like that, how do you know that whole family doesn't get deported? You don't know. They could have all been deported. You wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know or not. Seriously. I'm not like, you want to say that, oh, that's so rude or stop or anything, but you don't know is the thing. No one knows. They could have. You don't know. They could have hunted them down and fucking deported them and what? Took all that fucking shit for themselves. For all you know, that could have belonged to some rival university in Texas. I bet you that's what it is. I bet you money it's owned by a rival university in Texas because some Texan decided that they were going to take it from a little thief and his dad, who probably shouldn't even have been here legally. But they can take Wyoming dog shit and what, steal things from the locals. So I guess that helps everyone, right? Oh yeah, what a big help, dude. What a big help. Oh man, I could take oh, it's so easy. Oh, I copped that. Oh, I copped that. Like seriously? Seriously. I copped that. I'm such a big help for taking dog shit like that. Like, there is absolutely no way you actually think that shit is fucking valid. Like, I took a massive fucking eye burn for that. You don't think so? Those two are definitely directed, dude. Definitely. I guarantee you I have to, like, go to sleep for some little shithead. And it's like, I would never expect that growing up from anyone. I would never expect some fucking, random adult who has, like, skin at the university and, like, soul at the university to have to fucking sell out for me while I play Little League. I'll tell you this right now. I sucked at baseball, dude. I wasn't even good. But it would have been nice not having to get burned over, pretending to be good or actually being good, kind of, right? Through some little shit who I don't even know. Like, you want to talk about little shit and stuff. It's like, I bet you there's a big chance that some other university got involved and took that shit back. I bet you money. You don't think so? And I'm like, I bet you, dude. How much do you want to fucking bet on that? Because something like that would probably worth, like, that bag and that bat would probably be worth like $600 alone because of how like sacred it would be and like where it came from and stuff. Like, that's not garbage. That's like some seriously tough fucking gear that was in like A+ quality shape. So to think that you can just give it to a fucking kid for like $150 and then we all get fucking shamed and or scarred and now we have to go to the optometrist and stuff. Now I gotta have a fucking optometrist try to put pressure on my dad to to die in an accident so we can have fucking, some fucking bad fucking retarded fucking bullshit stupid ass fucking life insurance. I don't want anything. See, you're just like you're just like totally off beat on everything at that point, right? It's like, okay, well, you let the bad guys in, you let them take something good, you let them take something better, make it good, and then what? And all of a sudden it was bad for them, and all of a sudden what? Now it's my dad's fault, and we all need to fucking die for life insurance. Like, we literally, like, bitch, please, get the fuck out of here. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like, has the term, stick true to your guns ever resonated with you? Have you ever heard that? Have you ever heard the term stick true to your guns? You ever heard that shit? You ever heard that shit? You ever heard the term stick true to your guns? Because I swear that the reason why in the Odyssey, why all the fucking main characters fucking leave their wife and shit is because, like, like that's something that, like, maybe women's don't know. Maybe women's don't understand that shit. And that's why they're having to, like, adapt into, like, XXY and shit. And, like, do I trust, like, an XXY over, like, just a regular XX at this point? Like, hell, dude, like, honestly, I don't know. Like, what do you think? Do you think that XXY is, like, more valid than regular XX at this point? Well, I mean, XX, they're just gonna literally act like nothing fucking matters. Oh, yeah, what? That doesn't matter, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, then what? Like, now I need fucking, eye insurance. You want to pretend and act like, I wouldn't need that, the eye insurance like that or whatever, or that it wouldn't be as big of a deal. But my eyes they were really in really good shape because of Ruin and/or because of, the fact that I was just praying all day. And, like, I had my eyes closed most of the time. So, but whenever you burn it like that, you literally take, like, 10 years off it. And what, if you're just going to help out an optometrist, I'm going to hate you, dude. Literally. I'm not going to like you at all. Like, you're going to be upset with me because I don't like a little shit or, some fucking, bullcrap, Mexicans coming in here acting like they own the place. But in reality, like, I have plenty of reasons why I feel that way. Like, I only think the only thing that, keeps people on the opposite side of that is if they're taking, like, clean fet and they're just, like, fucking zonked out of their mind nonstop. And they don't even understand that shit's, like, fucking Chinese as fuck anyways. So have fun with your, Newegg components. Just remember that shit's all twice as expensive as it should be. You want to act like I never bought anything on fucking Newegg or some shit, dude. That's totally the cheap end of that. You understand that shit, right? You're such a fucking cheapskate, dude. Seriously. You fucking cheapskate. You fucking piece of shit. Yeah, how much of that Fenta is tainted, dude? They probably thought they were going to win the World Cup in America on that. It's like, oh, yeah, in what fucking world, dude? How much fucking tax dollars have you cost us, you dumb fuck? You don't want to fucking face the fact. That's a fuck ton of money, dude. And over what? Over what? Explain. Because, I mean, there's been plenty of times where I've been nice and, like, done things their way. And it hasn't helped. Like, giving up on a bat bag like that with baseball bats and, other things that were worth, like, I'm going to say $400 minimum, right? Like, nostalgia value, at least $500, right? Like, $600 is, like, really, like, where I would be putting the price tag. But personally, right, I understand no one's going to pay that. But, I mean, you have to understand, right, like, where I'm coming from with this. It's like I give it to them for $150. In return, I get nothing but a fucking bad burn. So at what point, can you say I didn't try to, work or reason with them? Because I'm sure they're expecting me to sell out or lose an eye, for some little shithead who thinks he's going to make it to the big leagues. Whenever no one even fucking cares, dude. Honestly, you want to blame who or not? It's like the second I get burned, I guarantee you that bag gets fucking taken back by some fucking softball shit. Like literally. Like, yeah, congratulations helping out, Oklahoma win like fucking 4 in a row or some shit. But I'll just tell you this right now, this shit's retarded, dude. It's fucking softball, dude. You burn the fucking, better ace's eye for a bunch of fucking, softball players. Congratulations. You're really, really cool. I'm sure your son will win a state championship. Oh yeah, who gives a fuck anyways, right? No one will give a fuck if he doesn't win a state championship, am I right? I mean, he might not have the birthright citizenship, so yeah, how can they? That's what's just funny. That's fucked up, dude. Seriously. Shit's fucked up, dude. Not having birthright citizenship is like literally one of the worst things. And then they even say like having birthright citizenship can be bad too. I'm like, yeah, honestly, because they end up fucking they're like raised in the projects and shit, and they expect everyone to do things their way sometime. Like if I was corrupted for bad art, it was really because of that type of shit, literally. And I mean, you could blame me however you like. Cause I gave that guy a pop. He got a pop. He got a good cherry on that. And what? Like you still want to just fucking try and take and take and take and take. Like it's fucking stupid. I'll tell you that right now, dude. I'm not just gonna let you take everything from me anymore. Like if I'm gonna call you a bad word, it's like, well, I mean, you really are just kind of playing things that way. Like you expect me to like want to like do things like as a dog barks at me or something. Oh, the dog was barking at him. That was our fucking memo. It's like you're fucking cheap as shit, dude. I'll just tell you that right now. You're so fucking cheap, dude. You're so fucking cheap. That's literally the most cheap fucking way. Just so you know. In Massachusetts, they would never fucking do shit that way. You're a fucking retarded ass cheapskate. In Massachusetts, they would actually fucking write the memo and or the fucking email and or, you know, the whatever else, right? There's a memo, there's an email, there's a text message. But not here, dude. You guys are a bunch of fucking cheap ass fucking, Chinese garbage. I don't hate Chinese. I don't. I got plenty of Newegg stuff, dude. I got plenty of Newegg stuff. Seriously. I got plenty of Newegg stuff. I'm not afraid to buy on Newegg, dude. I honestly think that the people who are involved in that shit are, though. Or they think that, like, Newegg's gonna be able to, like, make a difference in the World Cup. You're fucking funny, dude. You're so funny, dude. Seriously, bud. You're actually hilarious thinking that that shit is actually even mildly true, dude. Oh my god, dude. I mean, I could think of at least 3 or 4 different, places to put my money than Newegg if I was trying to win a World Cup. But whatever, dude. Honestly. There's no way you could actually think, like, the way I do. It's always going to be tainted by some Hadron Collider because of No Way and what. Of course I'm going to put my faith in No Way after you start stealing from me and, like, burning my fucking eye and shit. Fucking piece of shit. I will tell you the story that goes behind why I'm so angry today. I'll tell you the story once it gets in here and what I know it's safe. Okay, I will tell you. Trust me, it has nothing to do with anyone else. And I swear, whenever people try to make it about themselves, it just turns on them. Like you want to act like that kid's gonna have like the fucking like he's gonna be like the greatest player. Like it was fucking like it was what's it like it was Alex Bregman's fucking mid-school batting bag or something. It's like no, that bag was abused in terms of like. It has no win to give. It was never worthy of wins. It was clearly just for show. A showpiece was what? All I had, and you took that from me, and now you're trying the same thing, and what? I guarantee you that shit isn't going to work for him, right? They would have been better off paying like $1,000 for that bag from me, and then what? Acting like it would be okay. But instead they short-sold it, and what? I guarantee you it was going to be a lose-lose because you start getting involved with like a bunch of fucking, triad and a bunch of fucking retarded cartel and all this other shit. And it's like, bitch, I ain't your fucking police officer, okay? Quit trying to make me a fucking victim, dude. All right, I'm not your police officer. I'm not any of that shit, dude. Honestly, Like you want to act like I'm not I'm not the racist who's here trying to hurt you and make you look bad. I'm not the police officer trying to put you in jail. I'm not like I'm not involved with a gang. I'm not any of that. Like I'm just like I don't want to be involved with any of that. Whenever you force me to like give stuff to the people who are involved like that, then you have a fucking problem. And I mean, you could take it back to Aspen. You could take it back to fucking SoCo. You could take it all the way to Oregon or LA, or I don't even care, dude, honestly. Just know I'm not involved. I don't want to be involved with any of that. And whenever you involve me, then what? Then bad things happen because that's not what I asked for. And a lot of times it's like, well, they were already trying to set it up with No Way, or they like saw it and it wasn't like for sale and they decided they were going to take their dog shit. That's how it goes every time. Seriously. Either they were able to get in through some like loophole and they like were already trying to claim it based on No Way, even though they had no right, or like I said, it was just all about them seeing it because it was like out there just a little bit, taking their med and then turning it into theirs like already. Like I can't control a lot of that shit. I can't. But I'll tell you this right now, you could probably blame those Aspen fires on the fact that they stole that bat bag. And that was like something I would consider as like worth $600. Now this other thing I'm saying is worth like 3 times as much as that in my mind. Like it ain't gonna be nice for the the root, especially if you're gonna fucking short sell it like that. I'll tell you, it will not even be a little bit nice. Not because of evasiveness or dangerousness or anything. Because of what? Because it isn't yours to sell. It isn't yours to ask for. It isn't yours to cop. It isn't yours. It isn't yours. It isn't yours. The second you get into like it's mine, 3 times over, it's like we got to prove that then. Because I have a receipt, I have a remote, and I have a manual and documents. Like besides the receipt, like something saying it was like a gift basically. So you cannot like you're just gonna keep on saying it's yours. And what what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit you with the fucking facts. 5 or 6, 7 years from now, and you're gonna wonder why there's like a massive disaster somewhere. And they're like blaming you and shit. It's like, don't look at me, don't blame me. I'm giving you a fair share warning right now. And if anything, like, I'm not even going to let it come to that term this time. Like this time I'm going to just step in and, say you just can't do that. They literally just gave away a hat that was mine. And I know you want to say, oh, it's just a hat. That's fine. They just gave it away though. Like a hat that was mine. Like why? Just because my sister wanted to pretend like we're fucking still 10 years old and she can take things from me without my permission. She wants to pretend like we're both making like this big alliance with like whoever those people are, and it's like you stole that hat from me. You stole that hat from me. It's not a white elf. It's they took the hat from the house here without my permission. Took it from there. Didn't tell me that they were going to put it in the white elf. And then got really upset whenever I got upset because I didn't even realize it was going to be in there, and they caught me off guard. And when it's like, yeah, I mean, I bought that hat as a gift. I didn't know who I was going to give the gift to at this point. But I mean, it was a nice hat. I mean, I think that they were just upset. They were like, oh, but it was this kind of hat, or it was that kind of hat. It doesn't matter what kind of hat it is. How about this? It's my hat. That's all that matters. Well, not anymore? Yeah, not anymore. So it doesn't even matter now. Like whoever, like, yeah, that's you. I'm already getting my ass kicked over this shit. No story. You don't get a story, like I said. You have to return the property. You have to return the goods. Yeah, you have to return the property. I don't care if it's going to a nice kid or anything. It doesn't matter. See, none of that matters. Who it's going to doesn't matter. None of that matters. Not even a little bit. It could go to fucking, like Trump. Like if I had a kid with like Kai Trump, it could go to their kid, and I would still say no, it's mine. And it's not. It doesn't matter whose it is. Or who's it's going to. That's what I mean. It doesn't matter who it's going to. Like, who it's trying to be or whatever. That doesn't matter. It could be anyone. What you're doing is you're gonna cause more problems and more drama than whatever $500 or $400 is they give you is worth. That's what matters, because of how you decided you were going to make the deal. Basically, you're breaking way too many rules that I would follow myself on like a black and gold kind of like script. And it's like, yeah, you think you're gonna win? You think you're gonna win breaking all those rules? You're wrong. You're not gonna win breaking any of those rules. Like, I guarantee you, even the person who literally stole that bat bag, I swear they probably were in the news the other day, like they probably got shot or something. How much you want to bet that whatever fucking heaven they thought they were gonna get, or their dad thought they were gonna like heist from them, you can't steal a fucking championship? Some people think you can't even buy a win. If that even makes sense to some people. And I mean it, like, whenever I tell you, like, it might not make sense to everyone. Whenever I tell you that, whenever I say, some people say you can't buy a win. What does that mean? What does it mean? Oh, I don't know what that means. It's like, well, you better think long and hard, because I've been told that a lot of times. And I mean, every single time I don't disagree with it. Like, I agree, yeah, you can't buy a win. I think that's why Pete Parsons lost control of this company, because he made it so people could buy a win. And that's not how you're supposed to do things, especially in black and gold, which are the color of trials. And how are you going to just all of a sudden out of nowhere, be trying to say that you can buy a win, even though, like, Alpha Saint and like all the Pope's peoples and all that shit say you can't. And I know you want to be like, well, they don't matter. It's like, no, Pete Parsons doesn't matter, like Destiny doesn't matter. Like, you really can't be like being all that type of toxic, and then on the side also making a hustle way, because I mean, they're not really making money there. They're just like kind of like paving their own way. They're not making money like that, because if they made money, explain to me where did it all go? Where did all the money go? Like, what was their retainer? They were making like barely above the bubble. Yeah, you weren't making money, dude. There's no way you were making money, dude. You were like, don't try to bullcrap someone like me. Don't try to BS someone like me. I might as well have had a cop-out degree since I was 18 years old, right? I might as well have had an associate since I was like 6, 7, some people say. More like 5, okay? So whenever I tell you this, like, I'm telling you, like, someone who has a lot more wisdom than you give credit for. Whenever I tell you they weren't making money off that, then what? I'm right. Because the quality of the game was shit, so whatever hustle they had going was crap, and it wasn't even helping them very much. But also, they can't even claim that money through their actual org, and what? So you still look like you're operating on the bubble. But then whenever a good company gets involved, like Sony, because they're trying to like save like the video game race, because you can't have people fucking offing themselves, because they can't win everything at Destiny, which I guarantee you has happened plenty of times. Then what? Like, they're looking at the bigger picture. They need people to buy components and not just games and go to movies, but what? Also, they're trying to like create like bipartisanship with Xbox, sort of, right? Like, oh, here, this is how we made our console. Xbox is still like, what? Like, thinking that it's okay to fucking no life and then create shortcuts, right? And like kill codes. It's like, we're not going to make the console good, but what? We'll hire a programmer, to make it seem like it's good, right? It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? What the hell's wrong with you? What the hell? What the hell's wrong with you? Wrong with you? What was wrong with me? I was a better hype, and now I'm a potato. Wrong with you? Wrong with you is you think you can steal from someone who's like 1,000 times more dangerous than you. Also, you don't understand the power of good and better reason, and how to make better reason good is what you do. That's bad. Trust me. That's bad. You should never be on the bad side of that spectrum against someone who is like literally trying their hardest to stay on the better, good side. Like, seriously, I'll tell you this right now. You end up with seriously massive burns in places that are quote unquote untouchable. Like, do I care? Like, Not really. I mean, kinda, right? Like, is it bad news? Like, I mean, obviously it's bad news, but what, like, what were you involved in? What were you doing? Were you supposed to protect, some of the rights that I had there? Because whenever, that batting bag, gets copped up by some random fucking, Mexican, family that what, you have to be like on twice the amount of, not suicide watch, but like, protection watch. Like how, this kid can't be doing certain things. Like he can't buy a chemical peel. He can't get certain types of knives and or he can't buy a gun. Like honestly, dude, like I guarantee you, I looked at guns and, handguns. You shouldn't have me looking at handguns. How are you having someone like me look at handguns? I could see, I mean, I can understand someone like me looking at an AR or a rifle, like just a hunting rifle, but you would never want someone like me looking at a handgun. So why was I at some point looking at a handgun? Why is at some point do I have, a chemical peel that I shouldn't have? These are things that like, I'm telling you right now, like you're what? You're really like, if you're supposed to be protecting me or whatever, you already failed whenever you allowed those idiots to take something as simple as a bat bag and like a few bats and, like a glove, like stuff like that. Like that's no way. Keep it on the side of no way. If it's no way, you have to keep it over there. You can't bring that shit over here, dude. What I mean is like, if it's no way, then you have to account for that shit yourself. You can't come over here and take anything because it's no way. Like I swear you would be so lucky, for, like the Queen of Norway not to want to like just, totally, put you in the dirt, like god dang, like you are really running a risk there because you want to believe that it's like, it's not that big a deal or something, or that your fet could get you out of it. But what happens whenever they don't get what they want, right? Because they don't get third place. Or they don't get, first or second place in this last tournament, even though they were, a pretty good team. Then what? Then you got to answer. Like, because I'll tell them the truth. Hell no, I didn't say they could have that bag. That bag was not for sale. That bag wasn't for sale. One of them fucking illegals came in there and what? Fucking, took some cow turd and what? Forced my mom to give it to her. You cannot expect me to fucking, like, literally stay out there all day fucking, watching her and shit. Like I'm a fucking kennel worker or whatever the fuck they are, right? Like, honestly, dude, there is no way you actually think that I'm actually gonna do that shit. I don't have a dog, dude. Why don't I have a dog? Not because of the responsibility, because I can handle the responsibility of a dog and or like pets in general, but I just don't want to have it. I don't want to handle that responsibility. Like, let me keep some in the tank, dude. Let me keep some. You understand what that means? Like, like don't kill me with all the responsibility at this stage of my life. At some point you're gonna wish you had let me keep some in the tank whenever things were gonna get serious, with someone or some thing or whatever. But you want to believe that, and it's like, yeah, that shit is actually kind of true, because the more you kind of like, abuse someone like that, the less they're going to want to help later whenever they have the choice. I already think that the no way got him for that, honestly. And I swear that these next people in line are like, they don't realize it's going to be much worse than that, because this is something that, means more to me than that. Like, you're going to end up with like a massive, massive problem that I won't be able to fix. And it doesn't make any sense that, like I said, if the deal ahead of time was like a certain way and then you start changing it, it's like, you know what, I'm going to start having to devote my sister. I'm going to start having to devote my mom, which are two things I should never have had to do, because of how I set my sister up for success and because of how much reason I've done for my mom, for my dad. Like, that's really her job to do that shit. You understand? It's her job to do that reason. It isn't the kids as much. Like, that shit is crazy, dude. Like, it does it hurt? Like, no, it doesn't hurt, but it sucks that I have to waste my time doing that because it's almost like I could have spent that reason, helping my community, helping a community, that I like. There's like all these other ways I could have spent, that time doing that reason, but instead you're gonna force me to have to like literally attack, my own on that because of how, radicalized they've become, or because of how, corrupt they decide they want to be. Well, for someone who like is a doctor, or anything like that, I'll tell you right now, you still can't break a lot of those rules. I'll tell you, what you're going to end up doing is you're going to end up getting your team embarrassed at home, and then you're going to like want to continue breaking them. But the whole point of following them is so you don't get embarrassed at home, so that you don't break, like, so you have like a reason, like, oh yeah, I didn't get embarrassed at home, so therefore what? These rules are working. But it doesn't almost. You clearly were breaking them and got embarrassed at home, and then just like we're like, oh well, let's just continue breaking them, right, guys? It's like, yeah, okay, well, spoken like a true fucking loser. I don't know what else to say. Because like I said, there's those rules I don't break. All right? End of story. Like, you're crazy. Like, you're just, what you are is you're thinking that you're helpful, but you are actually a problem. Especially if you have like a lot of power and money and stuff, like you're clearly a problem at that point. All right, I actually need to get like a scout rifle or something. Let's see here. So who cares what a problem? The university cares. I'll tell you that right now, dude. Yeah, I mean, honestly, dude, they care. Because the more problems you have, the less chance they have of winning a championship. And I mean, it's not about money, but honestly, if you're going to make out like bad or dirty money like it's like helpful, it isn't. Bad and dirty money ain't helpful, dude. Regardless if you want to think it is or not. Also, like, threats and death threats aren't helpful either, dude. Seriously, dude. That shit is fucking retarded, dude. That's the difference between Waco and Baylor, and why they were able to get out of mid-conference major and why San Diego State wasn't. Because San Diego State will just allow that type of shit, and so will the Mountain West. The Mountain West basically, enables half of their fucking, sus to do that stuff and get away with it. Whereas Waco, they won't let them do that. They won't let them get away with that, dude. They won't let them do it. They what? They win a national championship off, saying they can't do that shit. In basketball, that's like a serious big deal. I get it. You want to act like, you want to act and pretend like cross country or or skiing like actually matter compared to basketball, and be like, oh my god, you're so far off, dude. Like seriously, you're like so far off. It's crazy to think how far off you are at that point. Yeah, you want to say that me believing in no way is retarded, and I want to say that you coming in here illegally acting like you own the place is retarded. See, you understand that like we're not gonna agree at that point, right? You just have to kind of like see it as like, oh, you don't get your way and what I clearly don't get my way, right? But you can't have my shit and what I can't have your shit, right? But I mean, clearly you've gotten away with taking my shit without my fucking, without my permission, and for that you think you can just continue to do it? And that's been like a huge problem for you. Get embarrassed at home by like literally a C tier team. Like they would say B rate. I'll be like, I don't even think they're B rate. If anything, their suit against you is the only reason why they're B rate. They really should be C tier. If anything, Belgium is more B rate than that, and Norway is more B rate than that. I don't know why you'd want to help out the UK like that. To be honest, dude, like it seems like you're just getting caught stealing. Like IBM will always get involved whenever people get caught stealing, and that's what they have. Fucking targeted. Like nobody's business. Like it's my fucking fault they lost. What a little horse shit, dude. I honestly think that you literally griefed the entire fucking south side of the border, dude. That's what I think. I wish that they would just send all that fucking hell to, like, to South America, dude. Why do you want to send it here, dude? Is my question. Like, seriously, it doesn't help. And maybe if they sent it there, like, they might be able to get away with more, but like they could probably win that. But I mean, the second you start messing with, the top dog like that, I swear everyone and their mom wants to get their technology involved to like basically stick up for us. And they want to think that because China like hooked them up with some fucking killer recipe that they're above that. It's like no one's above that, dude. No one's above that. Sorry. I'll show you the first rule. No one's above that. There's no promising anymore. Sorry. You guys what? You guys fucking suck. I'll tell you that right now, dude. You have me very close to wanting to change in my political affiliation. No, this is what I think. I think that Trump went in there. He was willing to clean up their fucking crap and make it so that they could make a massive run in the tournament. They chose that they wanted to be a pussy, that they wanted to cop out, and then basically from there, after they lost at home, they just wanted to point fingers and try to hurt people. It's like, well, just use this as an excuse. It's like, you had every right to help your team by getting farmed for being bad, because it's clearly a better way that wins. You had every right to do that. Instead, you decided that you were going to put yourself before your country, and then just cause more problems whenever you had the chance. Like, if I respected you enough to try to help you some way across the line there, I don't respect you anymore. I think that you're I mean, I can't even explain how dumb that is. Like, you have to be like 100% self-preservation, like 0% capable of anything else. Like, the spontaneity in you is the only thing that matters. I swear that's where you look at someone like me, and then you look at someone like that, and you just that's the difference right there. That's the difference. Is I can't have spontaneity in my life. I need things to be planned for ahead of time. I need for things to work according to simple ground rules. Whereas that side of stuff is kind of just going with whatever fucking, bitch fucking, call, basically. And I'm like, yeah, I hate that shit, dude, honestly. If I could have my shit back, if I could have my skin and my soul back, I want them to fucking give it to a university that doesn't believe in that type of bitch mentality. Where it's like, oh, well, the dog barked. You got 5 minutes to go fuck the neighbor, right? Or some fucking retard like that. Like, seriously fucking stupid, dude. Like, you must be that fucking desperate, right? You're seriously fucking desperate. Like, holy fuck. So I must have to start screaming quit trying to steal his things. No, what I think is, I don't think that they believe that they can make a difference in how the team plays, and that's why Texas had to kill them, so that Waco could win that. Because basketball isn't easy. I mean, softball can be easy, but basketball isn't easy. So if Waco has to go through all that trouble, it's because that is a huge problem. You cannot have the people who are affiliated with your town, city, state, school, team. You can't have them thinking that they can't make a difference. And it's more than just showing up. Like, seriously, that is the worst attitude you can have whenever it comes to fandom, whenever it comes to being a sporting, team or sporting anything at that point. Like, you just can't have that. I swear the conservatives are they just want slaves. It's like, I still like doing all the small things myself. I'll just say that right now, dude. Like washing my own dishes, washing my own kettles, setting out my own medicine, all that stuff. I still like doing all that stuff myself, dude. I mean, you'll never convince me, that having someone else do that stuff for me isn't bad. You'll never be able to convince me that. Oh, yeah, go to church. Go to church. You're illegal. Go to church. Yeah, I guess so. Honestly, you would wonder how I really feel about that stuff. Yeah, go to church, and I think that church can save people like that, and because the problem with the problem with still like the baseball thing right there, the problem with that bag and whatnot is that that person was taking medicine that they shouldn't have been taking. You shouldn't be taking that shit in public, dude. I mean, I can see if you're like trying to help your sports team, or if you're like trying to get out of like something. Like let's say like shit isn't supposed to be offensive. That shit isn't supposed to be offensive, right? It's supposed to be like it's supposed to help like get over like the day and all the grime and stuff. And I never even did it like that. So doing it on people who don't even do it at all like is like not even just mildly offensive. Like that's unethical. Really, it is. It's like incredibly unethical, and yeah, I mean it's not funny. Really, it isn't, because like little things like that turn into big things really, really fast. All of a sudden, you are helping out a bunch of like Baylor optometrists. Like you don't think that a Baylor optometrist came in here and has made a killing just because of something as simple as that. I was just testing it to see how laggy it was without showing it. It was a lot less laggy. I'll say that right now, dude. I'll say that right now. Just about every country, dude. Every country. And China isn't going to help you at all, dude. They're not going to help you even a little bit, dude. Seriously. They aren't going to, is the thing. They want to think that they're going to, like, save them, that China's, like, their saving grace. It's like, you're stupid, dude. Seriously. The way that a country like that operates is it's all about, like, a bidding war. And you are just, like, such a small country in Mexico to even think that you could ever win a war like that. Like, you don't even account for, what other countries have or how rich they are. Like, you're coming to America and, like, literally getting money off us. It's like you can't even make that money yourself. Like, holy shit. Like, what? Explain yourself right now. Why would you have to come to America, make things, shitty here so you can get money, and then what? Go back to Mexico and, like, give it to a bunch of whore and shit. Like, explain, like, how is that even? That's not profitable, dude. That isn't even that profitable, because how, like, at what age do people, like, stop, buying into that crap, is my question to you. It's a lot younger than you probably think, dude. A lot younger than you probably think, dude. Like, you want to think, like, 30 years old, maybe, 28, 29. Like, naturally, though. Like, naturally. Like, say there's no way isn't involved in the lapse of trying to get people to, like, be a goon and shit, because I'm, like, clearly mocking the fucking way here. Like 35, maybe 37. 30ish. So some men don't even really get on board ever. Like, really, they're more interested in being, like, like a high quality citizen or whatnot. Like 37, like minimum, you think? See, I think for a lot of people, it's like early 30s, dude. I'll be honest with you, because you start like settling down and like you start finding like the people who you like want to spend the rest of your life with, and then from there it's more about like going out and doing things and having fun like in ways that aren't related to like sex or whatever. They're having to take like fucking Viagra and shit. You think that shit's natural? You can't count You can't count Viagra. You can't count that shit. Like I said, like what is like normal at that point, right? They said no, no way shit aside. Like no way crap, whatever you want to say, dude. Yeah, a little bit low. No, I think that there's more no way involved than you probably think, and that shit isn't natural. And I think that like the family dynamics and the bonds that they have in Spain are a lot stronger. Same with Argentina. The two teams that were at the top there, they have a lot stronger like family dynamic than America or Mexico or these other teams that didn't really do much. But like if America is getting corrupted by Norway, like Norway is clearly splitting the bill there, and they can't do shit, right? Like you can't do shit, right? Like they're in charge of that, right? Like that's like how is their hadron not like have how is it just like automatically not have deleted like a bad hypnosis every second of the day, right? It's like it's not tuned correctly or something. It's like don't get me started with like tuning or whatever, dude. Like I don't even like watermelon that much, bro. Like see, this is like your whole thing is like, but watermelon. It's like yeah, but what? You must be a nigga. You must. Like, but avocado, I'm like, motherfucker, dude, you don't get me started with what my fucking, favorite foods are and like what I like to eat. Because you basically have to force watermelon onto me. And same thing with avocado, man. And I'm not saying that you don't like that or it isn't good for